Hello, my strong Stoics. Welcome to Stoic With You, where we explore the philosophy of life that helps us not only overcome all challenges, but also become stronger every day. Today, we will discuss a topic that I am sure each of us has faced: how to deal with haters. Have you ever wondered why there are people who love to hate you? They despise you, talk badly about you, try to bring you down. Does this make you feel uncomfortable? We used to think that the best way to respond is to vent all our anger, to prove our strength by retaliating. But I will tell you a secret. That is what they want. Yes, they want you to be angry. They want you to react in a negative way. And that is when they win. But we Stoics do not easily fall into that trap. Let me remind you of a quote from the great Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, who said, "If someone despises me, let them take care of it. But I will take care that I am not found doing or saying anything despicable." This is the philosophy we need to take to heart. You cannot control what other people say or do, but you can absolutely control how you react. Think about it. In the modern world, haters are everywhere, on social media, at work, even in your personal relationships. Sometimes, just one careless word from them can hurt you deeply. And you know what? That's perfectly normal. Why? Because when you dare to live up to your values, when you dare to step out and express your opinions, there will inevitably be people who feel uncomfortable. You can't please everyone, and that's perfectly fine. The question is, what will you do when faced with these people? Will you let them drag you down? Or will you take charge of yourself and prove that you're stronger than that? We're Stoics, and our philosophy not only teaches us how to overcome challenges, but also helps us become the best versions of ourselves. The first thing you need to understand is that when someone tries to hurt you, the problem isn't with you. It's with them. They may hate you, but you don't have to hate them back. Let them deal with their feelings. And you'll maintain your kindness and integrity. That's the only way to ensure that you don't get sucked into the negative spiral they create. So how to deal with haters intelligently? Let me take you through the next steps, and I guarantee that if you apply these Stoic principles, you will not only overcome all the hate, but you will also feel stronger than ever. Remember, it all starts with you. You cannot control how others treat you, but you can control how you react to them. And that is true power. Stop and think for a moment. If everything is going well, you are causing yourself unnecessary suffering. But if things go wrong, you'll suffer not once, but twice. You'll have suffered before the bad things even happen. Is it worth it? Actually, no. Worrying doesn't change the outcome of things, but it does damage your brain and your mood. But I know what you're thinking. That sounds easy, but how do I stop worrying? This is a big problem for many people. Simply telling someone to stop worrying doesn't work. But Stoicism isn't just about saying things, it's about giving us practical tools to help us manage our anxiety. So what's the solution? One of the most powerful tools in Stoic philosophy is framing. This isn't a complicated concept, you simply need to change the way you see things. Life is a series of ups and downs. Seneca teaches us that it doesn't matter whether something goes well or badly, what matters is that you get through it. Think about what you've been through in the past. How many times have you worried about something, but you've come out okay, still standing, and even stronger than before? A great exercise I recommend you try is journaling. That's right, sit down and write down what you're worried about. Then, reframe the situation. How have you gotten through it before? Think back to times when you thought you couldn't get through it, but you did. This way, you'll see that worries are just thoughts in your head, and that you are always able to get through them. Let me tell you a personal story. I used to compete in bodybuilding competitions. For months, I dieted and trained hard. I worried that I might not be good enough, that I would fail. But then I realized that worrying doesn't help. The only thing that got me through that challenge was taking action. I couldn't control the outcome, but I could control what I did. And I did. It wasn't the only struggle I would face in my life, but it taught me a valuable lesson. You can get through anything if you believe you can. So how do you let go of worrying? Trust that you'll be okay in the end. No matter what happens, you'll always find a way. You always can, and you will continue to do so. So why waste your time and energy worrying about something you can't control? So dear Stoics, if you are still here, it means that what I shared has really touched your soul. And if you haven't liked or subscribed to our channel, I would be extremely grateful if you do it now. Your support is not only a motivation, but also a great inspiration, helping us continue to bring deeper and more meaningful content just for you. And don't miss any part of the content, because right below is what you need today. They contain valuable knowledge which will help you continue your Stoic journey with more peace and strength. So how do we really let go of worry? I know that many of you are thinking, that sounds good, but how can I change the way I perceive my worries when they haunt me day and night? This is where one of the most important techniques of Stoic philosophy comes in: reframing. This means looking at your anxiety-provoking situations from a new, more positive, more rational perspective. Remember, life is a series of ups and downs, and nothing lasts forever, neither the good nor the bad. But if you can change your perspective on these ups and downs, you will find that anxiety has no place in your mind. Think about it. When you are faced with a situation that makes you anxious, such as an important presentation or a challenging project at work, you can choose to see it as a threat, an insurmountable obstacle. But instead of worrying about what might happen, try to see it as an opportunity for growth, a chance to prove yourself. That's a change of perspective. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control the events that happen in our lives, but we can absolutely control how we react to them. This is the power of perspective. When you change the way you perceive a situation, you change how you feel about it. Anxiety disappears when you understand that you can handle anything that comes your way. Let me give you a personal example. In the past, I used to feel overwhelmed by anxiety. Every time I had a big project or an important decision, I would find myself getting stuck in negative thoughts about what could go wrong. But then I realized that it was my way of looking at things that was causing my anxiety. When I changed my perspective, focusing on what I could control instead of worrying about things that were out of my control, I felt a lot better. Here's a little exercise to try. The next time you feel anxious about something, sit down and write down what's going on in your mind. Then ask yourself, what can I control about this situation? Leave the things you can't control. Instead, focus on the things you can change, no matter how small. That's how you gain control over the situation, and in turn, you'll free yourself from anxiety. Another exercise you can try is keeping a Stoic journal. Every night before bed, take a few minutes to write down what you're worried about that day. Analyze each situation and ask yourself, can I control the outcome of this? If not, what can I do to minimize the negative impact? Once you're done writing, you'll see that most of your worries are just passing thoughts and have no basis in reality. Another good example is when I had to give a presentation in front of a crowd. In the past, I used to worry about saying the wrong thing, about being judged or laughed at by the audience. But then I realized that being nervous doesn't help. What can I control? I can prepare well, practice to reduce stress, and gain confidence. I can't control how the audience feels, but I can control how I prepare and react to situations during the presentation. And that makes a huge difference. When I focus on what I can do, the anxiety disappears, and instead I feel confident and ready to face the challenge. So, how you perceive the situation is the deciding factor in whether you are nervous or not. If you perceive the situation as a difficult, insurmountable challenge, then anxiety will take over your mind. But if you see it as an opportunity to grow, to learn and prove yourself, the anxiety will disappear and you will feel more excited instead of scared. Let's look at another situation. Imagine you just received news that your job is in danger of being cut. Your first instinct will probably be to worry. You are worried that you will lose your job, that you will have financial difficulties. But instead of letting this worry take over your mind, change your perspective. This could be an opportunity for you to look for new opportunities, learn a new skill, or even start a project that you have always wanted to do but never had time to do. When you change your perspective, the anxiety about the future will gradually disappear. and instead, you will feel excitement and hope for what lies ahead. Finally, remember that life is full of challenges, and you cannot avoid difficulties. But what matters is how you deal with them. You can choose to worry and be overwhelmed by them, or you can choose to change your perspective, seeing these challenges as opportunities to grow and become stronger. Control how you react, and you will find true power within yourself. We cannot control everything in life, but we can absolutely control how we react to them. That is the Stoic spirit. And when you master how you perceive situations in life, you will realize that worry has no place in your mind anymore. Now let's go to daily practice of letting go of worry. Now that we have a better understanding of the theory of letting go of worry, analyze the lessons of Seneca and how to change perspective. But the next important question is how to turn these ideas into concrete actions in daily life. If you only stop at the theoretical understanding level, letting go of anxiety will always be a distant concept. Therefore, we need to practice letting go of anxiety every day, through specific exercises and techniques to gradually form a habit of living more positively and calmly. Let me explore with you the practical steps that you can take today to start this process. First and foremost, practice living in the present. You've probably heard this phrase 1,000 times before, but do you really understand and apply it in your daily life? Stoicism always emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment. Why? Because anxiety often comes from focusing too much on the future, which we can't control, and neglecting what's happening right now. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't let the future worry you. You will face it if you have to, with the same mental tools you use today to face the present." In other words, the future is just an extension of the present. And if you can deal with what's happening today, you can deal with what's happening tomorrow. So how do you practice living in the present? One of the most effective ways is to focus on your senses. For example, when you go for a walk, instead of letting your mind drift off to thoughts about work or worries about the future, pay attention to what you see, hear, and feel right now. Pay attention to the color of the sky, the feel of the air on your skin, the sound of birds chirping, or the rustle of the wind. Let all your senses be absorbed in the present moment. You can apply this to any activity during the day, from eating to washing the dishes, or even while working. Focus on what you are doing right now, instead of letting your mind wander to things you can't control. When you do this often enough, you will start to notice that your anxiety is greatly reduced, because your mind has no space for worries about the future. Second, make a daily Stoic journal habit. We mentioned journaling in the previous section, and now I want to reiterate its importance in the process of letting go of anxiety. Journaling is a great way to talk to yourself. It helps you put your thoughts down on paper, look at them objectively, and reassess whether those worries are really necessary. Think about it. When you write down your worries, you turn them from vague thoughts into concrete words. This gives you a clearer picture of what's worrying you. And once they're on paper, you can look at them rationally and decide whether you can do something about it, or just let them go. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to us, but how we react to it that determines our lives." When you journal, you're taking control of how you react to the world around you. You're creating a safe space to process your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Start by taking 5 to 10 minutes each day to write about what happened in your day, what worries you, and how you can change your perspective on them. After a while, you'll find that journaling not only helps you release your emotions, but it's also a great way to practice Stoic thinking. Third, focus on what you can control. This is a core principle of Stoicism, and it's especially important when it comes to letting go of worry. Think about it. How often do you worry about things that are completely out of your control? We often worry about the future, about what other people think, or about unexpected events that we can't predict. However, as the Stoics taught us, worrying about things beyond our control is a waste of energy. Epictetus said, "There are things within our control and things beyond our control. Focus on the things within our control." This means that instead of wasting time and energy worrying about things you can't change, focus on what you can do. How to put this into practice? Get into the habit of categorizing your worries. Every time you feel anxious about something, ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, focus on letting it go. Remind yourself that there's no point worrying about things you can't control. If you can control something, make a plan to deal with it, rather than letting worry take over your mind. Finally, remember that letting go of worry is a process, and no one can completely eliminate worry from their life overnight. However, by practicing these techniques on a daily basis, you will gradually build a stronger mind, have more control over your emotions, and live life with more peace and confidence. Next, let's embrace equanimity in life, like a cool breeze blowing through a hot summer day. Embrace equanimity in life. This may sound obvious, but when you truly achieve a state of equanimity, you will realize that it is much more than just relaxing. Sereneness is the ultimate state of inner control, where you are no longer overwhelmed by emotions, where you can look at life with ease and wisdom. So how to achieve this serenity? The first thing I want to share with you is, sereneness does not come from the outside world. It does not come from having a lot of money, fame, or power. Sereneness comes from within, from how you control your thoughts and emotions, from knowing what you can control and what you should let go of. Imagine this. You are standing in the middle of a raging storm. Outside, the wind is howling, the rain is pounding against the windows, everything is chaotic. But inside your house, you are sitting by the fireplace, curled up in a warm blanket and enjoying a cup of hot tea. The storm may be raging outside, but inside you is absolute peace. This is the state of serenity we are talking about. Life can be chaotic at times. It can bring unexpected events. But if you learn to master your emotions, you will not be swept away by the chaos. You will become the person sitting by the fire, calm and unmoved, no matter how fierce the storm outside. And this does not mean that you abandon all responsibilities or turn away from the world. No, quite the opposite. When you achieve serenity, you are still fully engaged in life, but with a clear mind and a peaceful heart. Sereneness is not withdrawal, but the true strength to face life's challenges without letting them overwhelm you. Think of the Stoics. People like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. They did not live in remote caves away from the world. Instead, they lived in the midst of social, political, and personal turmoil. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor, facing complex wars and politics. Epictetus was a slave, yet he maintained his inner peace. Seneca was an advisor to Emperor Nero, one of the most ruthless leaders in Roman history. They all lived through the storms of life, yet they maintained their serenity thanks to Stoic philosophy. How did they do it? By focusing on what they could control and letting go of what was beyond their control. They did not let their circumstances control their lives. They focused on controlling their own thoughts, actions, and reactions. This is the foundation of serenity, taking control of your own life. So, what can you do to achieve peace in your life? 1. Start by adjusting your mindset. Every day when you face challenges or stress, remember that you have a choice in how you respond. You can choose to worry, to get angry, or you can choose to stay calm and face the situation rationally. This choice is not always easy, but it is the starting point for peace. 2. Focus on appreciating the present. We have talked a lot about living in the present moment. When you appreciate each moment of your life, you will feel less anxious about the future and less regretful about the past. This helps you maintain a clear mind and peace of mind. Practice gratitude every day. Every night before going to bed, take a few minutes to reflect on the good things that happened during the day. No matter how small, acknowledge and be grateful for them. This is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate serenity. 3. Practice meditation and focus on your breathing. Meditation is a powerful tool to help you quiet your mind and cultivate serenity. Take a few minutes each day to meditate or focus on your breathing. When you focus on your breathing, you bring your mind back to the present, helping you feel at ease and not get caught up in anxious thoughts. Practice this daily, and you will feel the difference in how you approach life. 4. Know that serenity is not a destination, but a journey. You will not achieve serenity overnight. It is the result of training your thoughts, emotions, and actions every day. There will be tough days when you feel like you can't keep your cool, when anxiety and stress creep in, but don't get discouraged. Calmness is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time and patience to develop. 5. Finally, remember that you don't have to be perfect. We are human, and we are all bound to make mistakes and have moments of weakness. It's important not to judge yourself too harshly. When you lose your cool, see it as an opportunity to learn from it, and to move forward. Don't let small mistakes overshadow your long journey. Calmness isn't a state you achieve once and maintain forever. It's an ongoing journey where you have to work on your thoughts, emotions, and actions every day. And every day, you will get one step closer to this state of calm. You will feel lighter, more confident, and life will become simpler. Finally, it is important that you understand that calmness is not weakness, but true strength. Calmness allows you to face the difficulties of life without being overwhelmed by emotions, allowing you to live a life of meaning and freedom. That is our ultimate goal, right? We've come a long way together, and now it's time to look back on this meaningful journey. Take a moment and ask yourself, how do you feel after discussing all of these concepts? Are you ready to let go of worry and embrace peace? If the answer is yes, then you're already one step further than most people. But don't forget that this is just the beginning. When I talk about letting go of worry, I'm not just referring to something that happens overnight. This is a journey, one that you'll be on for the rest of your life. You'll never reach the point where worry is completely gone. But every day, if you apply what we've discussed, you'll become better at dealing with the challenges life throws at you. Remember what Seneca said, "It is harmful to the soul to worry about the future and to suffer before suffering." This is a powerful message, and if you can understand that worry is just a form of self-inflicted suffering, you have already taken the first step on the journey to letting go of worry. But how do you keep yourself on this path? By constantly reminding yourself of what is truly important. Whenever worry arises, remember what we said about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what is beyond your control. That is the key to staying calm in difficult moments. Life will constantly challenge you, but you have the tools to deal with it. The philosophies of Stoic masters like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca have endured for centuries and are still relevant today. This proves one thing: these lessons are not just theory, they actually work. Apply them every day, even in the smallest things. When you feel stressed about work, family, or the future, remember that you have control over how you react. You can choose to worry, or you can choose to let go and face life with equanimity. And you know what? Equanimity is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of true strength. As we mentioned earlier, equanimity is not a state of indifference or avoidance. It does not mean that you turn away from life's challenges. On the contrary, equanimity is the ability to face difficulties calmly and rationally. It's the ability to stay focused, even when life throws unexpected storms at you. Take a look back at your life. You've been through some tough times, right? How did you get through them? Perhaps you worried a lot, perhaps you struggled with negative thoughts, but now you have a new realization: worrying doesn't help. What you need to do is focus on the actions you can take right now. Take the example of people who practice Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, but he always sought to maintain peace of mind. He knew that his power could not control everything. Enemies, greedy politicians, unexpected events, all were beyond his control. But he didn't let that shake his spirit. He focused on controlling himself and making wise decisions based on calm, not fear. You can do it too. Don't let anxiety control your life. Take control of your emotions and choose to live a calmer, more positive life. Storms will come in life, but you can be a shining lighthouse in the midst of them. Finally, remember that life is a series of moments. If you spend too much time worrying about the future, you will miss out on the precious moments in the present. Live with gratitude and focus on the good things you have right now. When you do this, you will begin to see that life is not as scary as it once was. I want to end with a quote from Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that really matters. Keep this in mind. Things will come and go, but your reaction will determine everything. Choose serenity, choose freedom, and choose a life free from worry. You can do this. You can live with serenity and freedom because you have the tools and philosophy in your hands. Start today. Every small step brings you closer to freedom from worry and stress. Thank you for being with us so far. It really means we have brought value to you, and that is very valuable to us. If you find this video useful, not only for you but also for your community, please do a small but meaningful action. Share it with your friends, relatives, and people you care about. This action is not only completely free, but also has a positive impact. Thank you, a great Stoic friend. We wish you success and peace in every step of your life. See you in the next videos.